Okay, everyone, so I've had a goal recently to accomplish a feat that I've never done before, and that is to do 1,000 lunges per leg. So I wanted to create a video, an experience where I do this live with you all on camera. And to show you my workout space, how it's going to work out real quick is to do it each leg. I'll do a quick example. I'm going just back and forth between this space right here. So come down one, come down one. That's one. Then we turn around and do it again. Two, two. So that is essentially how it will work. And without any further ado, let's get started. Real quick, actually. I will be just fast forwarding through all the boring parts, the stuff where I'm in my head, and I will slow it down for you all when I start to speak or have a thought come to my mind. We're going to track my progress, and hopefully it's not too terribly long. So without any further ado, now let's go ahead and get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is my fourth time. 8. This is my fourth time actually doing this. The first time I did sets of, I did sets of 100, 2 sets of 100, totaling out to, hold on, it's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So the first time I did this, I did it in a way where I did 100 straight, and then I would take a break. It took like a 5-10 minute break, and then would do 100 more. So I would just basically, I've done sets of 100 this whole time. This is only the 4th time I'm doing it. The last time I did it was 700 reps, and I really only take a water break in between sets of 100 just to clear out the knees. That's 30. That's 30. It's hard to speak and keep count, so what I'm doing is I'm just using my left hand to count while I essentially hold the GoPro in my right hand. A lot of people might say that this is boring. I spend a lot of time in my own head anyways, so I mean, this is literally where all of my working out takes place. I'm in this small office room. I play video games here. I record content here. I work out here. This is why I refer to it as an NPR. And I'm maximizing the room there. That's 40. 21. I don't know, it's good to be able to maximize what you're doing with what you got. And also it just doesn't bother me to do this, because whether I'm talking to you all while I'm doing these lunges or I'm in my own head, it's just one of those things where you know, I'm happy. I'm happy I'm doing this. There's a lot worse things I could be doing. For the longest time, I was actually really frustrated that I wasn't making any content. I was just doing everything that I usually do, like without the camera. One of the best bits of advice that I got was from, I don't know what his name is. He pops up on my recommended every now and again. But his recommendation was to just turn the camera on. All you gotta do is turn the camera on. And that's 55. 56. Just turn the camera on. That really is all you have to do. 58. 9. 60. So one thing that is very important to keep in mind is I like to punish myself. I'm a glutton for punishment. And anytime that I lose track, lose count, I immediately tell myself, you know what? We're going back. We're doing the other one. We are going with the lesser number to ensure that I hit my target goal, especially when it comes to lunges. If it's like big weightlifting, number one, I really don't focus a lot on heavy weight, low rep. Here we go. It's 69. Nice. 70. Switch hands because my shoulder's starting to hurt. Right shoulder from holding up this camera. 71. 72. But yeah, the content that, or the best piece of advice for content that I ever did receive, quite simply, was just turn the camera on. Just turn that camera right on and just keep going. Okay, this is 5. See, even odds. It's the little things that is difficult. I always forget that this way is even, this way is odd. But, you know, I don't know. Simple counting sometimes is it's rough for me to do. I never had this problem when I was a kid. I remember when I was a kid, people would try to mess me up in class. They would turn around and start whispering to you. That's 80, by the way. We're at 80. They would try to whisper to me when I was in class. It was a game through 6th grade that the kids were playing. And I was always able to tune it out and just keep going. I'm really still good at tuning things out today, but when I'm trying to make a commentary and count at the same time, it is difficult. It can be difficult. 2-track minds. Some people are really gifted with that. I am not. And that's a really big thing to take to heart, is just that, you know, you have to know what your limitations are and you have to accept them. One of the biggest things that I always preach is owning your own limitations. That is 90. We have now hit 90. But there is liberation and acceptance. That is something that I do preach a lot. And it's something that lately I've struggled with practicing, because I'm always coming up with a new idea, coming up with something else that I think would be really fun to do, really innovative. In that instance, you know, balance, there's another thing to be said about balance, right? That's the two most important things, is that there's liberation and acceptance, and then there is the ultimate goal of achieving balance, being realistic while not impeding yourself too much. Don't think too much to the point where it's to your detriment, but at the same time, don't not think. That is the first 100 done. We are going to take a quick water break. I need to open this, so give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. And I thought about it sooner. I would have actually had that already open. There's no chance in heck I'm gonna knock this big behemoth of a water bottle over. 66 ounces a day keeps the doctor away. That was our water break. Time to now start on our second round of 100. 101, baby. We only have 899 left to go. It might be a big number to a lot of people. To me, it used to be. But I would say my biggest thing is chunking. Chunking is the best way that I have ever experienced in breaking something down. Oh my God, I just almost tried to almost do another one. I tried to break it up with 3. As I said, I don't have a 2-track mind. Okay. Yes. So that's 10. You'll see me pause in mid-thought while I am doing these lunges, and it's because on the count up, I'm going up. So I know that this is second, I'm going the right way. This is 3, going the right way. Odd, even, and then it almost essentially reverses right here, because it's odd and then even, and well, I'm only at 4. Now I'm at 3, and it seems like I'm going the wrong way. So, and that's another layer to where I have to do addition and subtraction. The main thing is that if I'm going this way, the even way, with 1 finger left, that means that we're there. That is 20 reps down, 120. We've been going for 14 minutes. Not bad. Making pretty good pace. Oh, turn the camera on. Turn the camera on. That's the best piece of advice. And don't get discouraged if no one is clicking on your content. A lot of people like to blame the algorithm, but if I guess it was from Mr. Beast. I was trying to think where I heard this from. It was replace the algorithm with audience. The algorithm is against me. The audience is against me. The algorithm doesn't like me. The audience doesn't like me. That is probably the best piece of advice. One of the best pieces of advice. There is not one single best of advice. That's 30. There is not. It's all a conglomerate. I like to repeat myself. I don't know why that is, but to get back to my point and not ramble too much. Yes, replace retention with audience. And that's kind of more of a accurate thing. There's got to be a reason why people are not clicking on your video, whether it be the thumbnail, whether it be a not really interesting hook, whether it be one of those things. I don't know. There's a lot of factors that go into it. It's 40. That's just something to keep in mind. I don't think the algorithm is out to get me. I do think that demonetization and control over the information that you can provide and actually make ad revenue is, it's kind of crappy. A lot of people are like, well, you signed up for the terms and conditions, but yes, terms and conditions, that's 5, we're halfway through. Terms and conditions are something that, in my mind, are not something that should be as easy to update as these big tech companies like to do. Especially when it comes to like data collection, things like that, things that they don't even tell you. But when it comes to like deplatforming someone, 150, here we go. The sweat is settling in. But when it comes to terms and conditions, it's kind of a shady practice to just say, hey, we're updating it, kids. And just expecting people to not complain with that or just be like, well, that's how it is. But that's how a lot of people actually are. There is a silent majority, I would say, of people that do actually read it. I don't read it. I'm not one of those people. But and I think, and again, it is telling when people can control the content that is out there. However, I do realize that it is Google's platform, and since it's privately owned, that they can do whatever they want. And that is why Patreon's important. That's 60. That is why other forms, other means of building an audience, of building a rapport, a community of like-minded individuals. Not saying that echo chambers are the way, because let's face it, echo chambers stagnate your growth, but building a community of like-minded people that are open-minded and like truth, don't like to be shoveled nonsense, which I don't think a lot of people by nature are like, I love this because this is nonsense. No, it's just like how people do not choose evil for the sake of evil. They think it's because of what is best for them. We are nearing 160. It's awesome. Kind of gotten into a flow state. That's 160. Kind of gotten into a bit of a flow state. I'm a blabbermouth, and this is what goes on in my head in general. I'm monologuing. A lot of times, actually, what I've been doing is I've been doing this while I catch up on professional wrestling. I'm a huge wrestling fan, AEW fan to be exact. I'm anti-corporation in nature. Not anti-corporation, anti-monopoly in nature. And, so long as Vince McMahon will benefit from my viewership, he's not that good of a human being, but yet he'll have his cohorts, thinking him. But either way, like what you like. I could care less. AEW is new-ish, 170. And it's just more grounded. It's fun. Every episode feels like a party, which is something I quite enjoy. And I like to have it on in the background while I work out. Specifically while I'm doing 2 hours worth of lunges. It took me about 2 hours, hour and a half to do 700 the other day, which could have been 800. You know, as I said in my last video, well, I say my last video, but honestly, I might release this a week, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 8 days. Gosh, please, counting, it's terrible. 180. Currently it's Friday. It's still 2023. It is what would have been my mom's 74th birthday. R.I.P. Yeah, 2024 starting off with a bang. I've got almost a full week's worth of content cooked up for y'all. I still have, 2 episodes left of Spiritual Gamer to record, but the editing process for those should be easy. And for these types of workout videos, they will be more constant. That's 190. So I'm thinking Spiritual Gamer every single day. Something to give you all to tune into and look through, listen to, because I always have some sort of spiritual content going through my mind, spiritual rant, and I love playing Super Mega Baseball. It's easy to get into a flow state while I play that game. So, 2024 is starting off with a bang. I have a plan, a mission, a goal, all those things. And I just am obsessed with being the best version of myself. It is dangerous to think about what is, it's dangerous to constantly be obsessed with self-improvement, because self-improvement, that's 200. Self-improvement and productivity is not everything. It is possible to accept who you are and to accept that you're not in a state of improvement, because we are uniquely ourselves. And while it is important to embrace our limitations, it's also important to understand what it is we wish to achieve and do everything in our power to achieve that, if it does bring you truly happy. Because another thing is that whatever you do in life, you should enjoy it. You should always be happy. So that was 200. That's our water break. Let's get back to the trek to 300. 799. There we go. We are 24 minutes in, 24 and a half. And we just completed 200. That's 204. On to 205. Turns out, I guess my left arm is better at holding this thing, because I was only able to do like 70 using my right arm. And I have been going this whole time holding it in my left. So that's interesting. What I would like to do now is go back and talk about AEW, because, pro wrestling is a huge thing to me. That's 10, by the way. We're at 210. It is something that is very important to me. And I say important because, as I mentioned, this would have been my mom's 74th birthday. AEW is not well known in the mainstream, even though it's been out for almost 5 years. The main thing about pro wrestling is that everyone still only thinks of WWE, which I'm anti-monopoly in nature, as I said earlier. And Vince McMahon also has a lot of sex allegations against him, sexual misconduct, so, it's not always the best. But I'm not here to pitch billionaire against billionaire. It's different in the way it is presented, the way its storylines play out. Pro wrestling does have a stigma, and it is that a lot of people, that's 20 by the way, 220. So it does have a stigma, and it is that it is fake fighting. Everything they do hurts them. It is not as fake as a lot of people want you to believe. You can't fake a fall from a 20-foot ladder after all. But I'm not here to preach here nor there. What I am here to preach about, What I am here to preach about, though, is just what AEW did for me, not only through the pandemic, but helping me and through the time that my mom passed away, because I don't know if it was, at first I was really behind them when they launched in 2019, because, hold on a second, that's 30, we're at 230. I was really behind them in 2019 because, again, anti-monopoly. The guys that helped form it were the only people that I knew stateside, outside of the bounds of WWE. And that is a group of guys called the Elite. And I really enjoyed their work. It was fantastic. And again, I wanted to support a new upstart, basically. And I guess after my mom passed away, they started their weekly TV in October of 2019. And in in February 2020, that's when my mom passed away, suddenly. Boom, 40, we're at 240. And I guess I went numb and drank a lot, gained, and of course, a month later, the pandemic hit. And so I didn't have much to do. I mean, I jumped around contract to contract. You've heard that if you have listened to the Phoenix Logs. You've heard all of that. But I think the trauma of that event of losing a parent so suddenly kept me in that state, and a core part of my persona at that point was being a huge AEW fan. So I've watched pretty much every single pay-per-view they have put on in the 5 years. I was a huge supporter of theirs. And then it got to a completely unhealthy level. That's 250. Congrats. Boom, 250. We're officially a quarter of the way there to our goal of 1,000 reps each leg. Don't let the breathing fool you. I feel like I could go at this pace for forever. That's one thing about me as a person, is my endurance. I breathe heavy. I don't know. Maybe my lungs aren't the best, which is crazy because I'm not a smoker. I've been a non-smoker my entire life. I did secondhand smoke, though, because my parents loved doing it. And I don't know. But I can, breathe kind of hard, but I recover just as easily as I start breathing heavy. So, well, you'll see what I mean here as we continue on. I've been going at this for 30 minutes. Oh, wow. That's 60. That's 260. We're already at 260. Let's freaking go. We got 40 more before our next water break. And I got to tell you guys, I am honestly I'm really shocked at how quickly this has come about. As I said in the very beginning, when I was struggling to get my thoughts together, struggling to come up with a counting solution on the fly, I only started this journey to 1,000 gosh, was it even 2 weeks ago at this point? I don't know. This is the 4th time I've done it. First time it was 200 reps that I did. Called it a day. Was like, holy crap, that's crazy. There was a time, I was inspired by a time that I went and did 500 when I was in tech school. That is 260. Wait, I said 40, so that's 270. My bad, team. It is 270. See what I mean? I'm lucky that I remembered and could tether that. Otherwise, I would have knocked myself back to 260. But I held that in legendary status in my mind. And, it was something where I wanted to get back to that. I wanted to be able to say, I have the endurance to do 500 lunges. And sure, I'm adding in a brief water break in here in between each set of 100. It is literally, as you saw, a couple seconds. It's not like I'm taking a 5-minute break or anything along those lines. I'm taking maybe a 15-20 second break depending on the monologue I'm giving you guys, and then we're getting right back to it. So boom, that's 80, that's 280. We got 20 more to go. And so again, the first time I did this, I did 200 with like a 5-minute break in between the 2 sets of 100. The second time I did it, I did 200 straight. Took about a 5-10 minute break. Then I did another 100. I called it a day at 300. And then the last time I was like, I'm gonna do 400. And then I hit 400 and I just thought I wanna do more. I wanna do something I've never done before. And of course my last record was 500. So I'm like, I wanna at least tie 5. I hit 5. And again, doing the same method that I did here, doing lunges, 2 sets of 100, and then taking a brief water break. My cat Oliver is crying outside at the door. I don't know if you can hear him. That's 290. But hey, I'm sorry, Oliver. We are keeping on. There ain't no getting off this train that we are currently on. But I hit 500 and I thought, nah, I have the endurance to keep going. And I hit 600 and I said, you know what? No, we're gonna try to go for 1,000. And then it was around the time that I hit 700. I had started late. I was catching up on AEW Collision, which is their Saturday show, and it ended, and I went ahead and was like, well, it's 10 p.m. I kind of feel for the people underneath us, because we live at the top of an apartment building, and our downstairs neighbors, and it's 300. Welcome to the 300 gang, and drink time, hold on. One more drink. One more for good measure. All right, here we go. On the road to 400, 300 down, 699 left to go. But it was getting late. I felt bad for our downstairs neighbor, and I was like, no. Rose was getting tired. I've been trying to wake up earlier. Night owl by nature, and I'm trying to change that, become more productive, at least until I want to shift what I do from night into the morning, just so I have the opportunity to be as productive as possible in the mornings before I have to commute to work, because that commute is absolutely atrocious. I hate it. Hate it so much. Baltimore traffic is the worst traffic. Well, except for like LA or New York, or DC. But it's pretty annoying. It takes me about a half hour some days to get there. That is 3:10. We are at 3:10. Good job, team. And yeah, I've just been trying to shift that. So all those things coming into play made me think, well, you know, it's about 10 o'clock. I would like to wrap this up. So was able to plan this a bit ahead. That was actually on Monday, and it is now Friday. So it has been 4 days since I first hit my goal of 700. I set my new record. And I want to just get this landmark milestone recorded with you all, get my thoughts while I do this, and just, you know, really share this with you. Promote fitness. I do a lot of fitness. I'm actually really proud to be back where I am at. For those of you that don't know, I gained a lot of weight over the pandemic, and even as far back as 2018, and going back in previous photos, I'm seeing how my drinking from previous was catching up to me as I was in my early 30s, losing my metabolism that I had in my 20s, where I could eat anything and not gain a single pound. And at my heaviest, I was 179, I think. I was a stone's throw away from, I think I'm at 125 as well. I didn't do my thing that I usually do. But yeah, 126. We got 3 left. And so yeah, I was heavy. For me, 179 is heavy. Being 180 was detrimental. Okay, we are at 3:30 now. What time is it? It's currently 2 o'clock. So I thought it'd be cool if it was 3:30 at 3:30, but no, that is not the case in the slightest. My hand is starting to tingle a little bit, and my thumb is starting to go numb. So after I finish this set of 10, we are going to switch hands. Hope that it's better. I might even be able to switch my grip here. I just want to get through this and see what I can do. But yes, I was heavy, and as you know, 2022, the very beginning, Rose said, let's go take a tropical vacation in June, and that started us on a trek to get our beach bodies back. And that's 340. Welcome to the 340 gang. And we went to the Dominican Republic in June. That was the plan. And I was a couple weeks into the fitness journey, couple months actually. It was the end of January when she said, let's do this. Okay, let's go. The carjacking incident happened April 15th, so I was actually in a good state where I was just constantly thinking about working out. I had gotten my bench here that you see, and I think you can see it anyways. It's literally right in front of me. I'll show it to you here, right behind me. Boom, there it is. Adjustable weight bench. It's pretty cool. Boom. 350, halfway to 400. Let's freaking go. And yeah, that put a pause. So 2022 is because of that incident. Ups and downs. Tried to retreat back into drinking, and then just, I wasn't having it. I knew what I had to do. I couldn't go back down that road, so I just started working out more. Cut my alcohol intake to the weekends, and really the major progress happened after we got out of that area. The incident happened literally right outside my front door in Baltimore City, and because I had fought the guy off, taken the gun from him, I thought, you know, maybe it's one of those things that he's gang affiliated. That was 360, by the way, 360 gang. And maybe he was affiliated with a gang, so I was kind of paranoid. We got out of there. I had to live right next to the scene of the crime for 3 months. And we finally moved out in July of that year. And oh man, my cat is really crying. He's hungry. He threw up when we went to the trail earlier. We were seeing if he could walk the trails again. We tested it a couple months ago, and he threw up again, almost in the exact same spot. So frustrating. So he's just hungry. He'll be able to eat as soon as I finish this. I'll give him a little snack, and then I'll have to give him a snack because they're not supposed to eat for another 3 hours. And that is 370. We're at 370. 372 to be exact. All right, 372, 373. As you can see, I kind of just keep going. But back to the riveting story. Carjacking happened, got out of there real quick in 3 months' time. And the real progress really kicked off once last December. Sorry that I keep saying it's just something that I do a lot. But we got into a new place, then December rolls around, and I decide, boom, what did I say? We were at 370? I think we're at 380 now. Yeah, I did say 370. So 380, and I decided to do an insane cut program where I did sometimes just 2 protein shakes a day, but I cut my daily caloric intake pretty well down to less than 1,000. On a pretty intense day, it'd be less than 1,000. On a pretty good day, it'd be about 1,600. And in the span of about a week, and then I really did restrict my drinking only to the weekends. So it was pretty much 2 protein shakes a day, and then one meal, and that's 390. We are 10 away from our 400 goal. So the extreme cut went swimmingly, went well according to plan, and within a month I was down to 155 from 160, and that's something that I had not seen on a scale since I moved here. 155, I had not seen it since around the time that I had moved out here. 395, and throughout 2023 I have floated between 148.9 and where I'm currently at, it's like 158. I think I've seen 160 a time or two, and that's after a particularly bingy weekend. But either way, right now, boom, we are at 400. 400 gang, 400 break. As I think about this, where I'm at, I got hair, hold on. As I recount this journey of mine, I am now becoming fully aware of where I'm at now on our way to 500, 401. And that is, I'm focusing on not what the scale says. I'm back to focusing on body composition because I like being lean and I like being strong. And that is definitely where I'm at. I do enjoy my endurance. Boom, we're halfway to 10 to 410. Halfway to 410. Wild statement. But I'm just impressed. And it is my goal to let you all know that you can do it. We all have unhealthy coping mechanisms, I know. And bam, 410. And it is your responsibility ultimately to make that happen for yourself. But it is also really important to share what you want to do to those closest to you. And not to listen to anyone that tells you that you can't do it. Walking is actually something that if you are really overweight and you want to do, and you want to lose weight, walking is probably the single best thing you can do for yourself, as it is you moving a bunch of weight, and low impact cardio is highly beneficial. Low impact / steady state, whatever you want to call it. Running does not help you lose fat. In fact, it really predominantly just helps you with breathing. So maybe that's what I need to do. We are at 420 because I talked about being at the 410 gang. 420 blaze it. So yeah, if that is something you would be interested in doing, I would recommend the video that I put out earlier in the summer, where the thumbnail is literally me shirtless trying to sell clicks to show you that it worked. But to be honest, if you have anyone that tells you that you can't do something, the best thing to do is to just do it. I've had people that I have proven wrong time and again, and it is always your biggest detractors that turn into your biggest successes. 430 successes that turn into your biggest fans. And they'll say stuff like, I always knew he could do it, he always had it in him, when they were the ones that were trying to break you down. I think that goes into people not wanting you to do better than they are, right? A lot of people, they secretly root against you because they just don't want you to do better than them. And I am absolutely guilty of that myself. People that have the potential to skyrocket past me with their income level, even though I've grinded for years to get where I'm at now, and I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm making steady progress year over year. But when I have people telling me, sharing information that they, have, that's 440. They have the ability now to see the light at the end of the tunnel, pay off their debt, and once that's done, like in a fraction of the time they'll be where I'm at. There is that part that's like, dang, it kind of sucks for me, but because of what I went through. But also, you have to check yourself, right? So you check yourself, and you have to be like, well, you have to stop the comparisons. Every single individual's mission in this planet is not linear. Growth is not linear. We all have our own unique challenges that we're here to face and overcome, and lessons to learn. So that is the single most important thing I can tell you all, is that if you're one of those people that hates on your friends or hates on family that is doing better to you, better than you, just take a moment, boom, 450, and step back, really look at yourself, take accountability for the decisions you've made in your life, and understand that you can always change yourself. You can always change your life. And when you celebrate people and are thankful for what you have, or just show gratitude, your life will change. Your life will absolutely change. And halfway there, halfway to 460. And I'll even take this a little bit further. And that is when I had a group of friends that essentially abandoned me. A couple of years ago, right after, I say a couple of years ago, it really was last year. It was shortly after the carjacking incident. And it was just one day, I didn't want to, that's 460. Is it 460? Yeah, 460. Where's it 470? I think, you know what, since I forgot, we're going to go with 460. And because I know last thing we did was 450. But I had a group of friends that essentially abandoned me last year, right after the carjacking incident. I really only hung out with them one time after the incident itself, because I was taking a good look at my life and assessing what I wanted to achieve, because it was another stark reminder that life can literally end at any moment. And that's something that, unfortunately, I've been needed to be reminded of time and again. I've been in a couple car accidents, had numerous near-death experiences in my life, but I still always act like I have endless amounts of time, right? So another reminder that could happen. And while I took that time, boom, 470, guys, let's keep it rolling. I literally only played video games a handful of times. And even then, they like to jump around from game to game, multiplayer game to multiplayer game. Long story short is that I didn't hang out with them except one time after that. And then and it was a couple months later, after I took some time and reassessed my situation, that I went back and was going to jump in and hang out with them and whatnot. I was kind of intermittently there hanging out with them. So I was going to jump back on, and I had time, so I was going to do that. And then I realized that not only did everyone was those Discord servers that they all hung out on not showing in my list, but they had also all left my Discord server. So it's like, okay, I get the message, and they kind of suck, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I get it. 480, and I held a little bit of a grudge there for a little bit, but at the end of the day, why spend my time hating on that when you can just take the time to learn from it? So I did. I asked myself, and this is another important thing that you all can take on your journey, and that is that we will Oh my God. I started thinking about what number we were on again. So you got to forgive me here on that. I wasn't sure if this would be 480 or 490, but since I can't remember, it's going to be 480 for sure. Well, let's see. And that is, boom, 480. That you have to stop asking why this is happening to me. And you must ask yourself what you can learn from this situation, because that is ultimately what we're here to do. We're here to learn love, forgiveness. That even goes for the self too. I know too many people that are self-sabotagers. They hate themselves more than they hate anyone else around them, and they just accept who they are, and that is the wrong thing to do. Yes, there is liberation and acceptance, as I always say, but you have to weaponize that. You have to look at it and be like, okay, these are my pitfalls, but this is where I want to go. Turn that weakness into a strength and literally utilize that to get to where you want to go. But on the inverse of that, people get stuck on the acceptance of that and then using that to not love themselves and think that because I am this way, I do not deserve the things that I truly want. That's 490. And that's flawed, because no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, you do deserve happiness. You do deserve a second chance. And it is up to you to right the wrongs that you've made. And it is that mindset of not why this is happening to me, but what can I learn from the situation? And how am I accountable for this situation that will ultimately lead to that point where you are like, okay, I can go ahead and now try to amend, the mistakes I've made, or just learn to let go. Just learn that, you know what, maybe you have someone that hurt you in the past and it's hard for you to let them go, but maybe you guys were wrong for each other and it was very clearly never going to work out, but you idealized that person and they hurt you, and it's one of those things that you just have to take accountability for, and that is 500. We are halfway there. Just like John Bon Jovi, we're living on a prayer. So thankful for that water break. All right, let's get going. On our way to 6. We've done 5 on our way to 600. We are almost an hour in, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me this whole time. I can't tell you how much I appreciate if you're still here. If you got sick of me a long time ago, I don't blame you. It's okay. It's all okay. And if you're clicking around, hey, thank you for that as well. I greatly appreciate each and every single second you all spend with me. We are at 5:05, but that mindset is very true. And I've been introspective my whole life, but at one point, I really did get sucked into that line of thinking that why is this happening to me? I can go back and talk about one of my exes that hurt me. She cheated on me, and then she couldn't let me go. Because she was so used to everyone chasing her. And I'm not someone who's ever chased anyone. That is 5'10". And I'm not someone who chases someone. I'm someone who takes you at face value. I don't like to play games. And if you are someone that's going to tell me outright that I don't want to be with you, then I'm not going to spend my time pining. Because there's, especially the type of person I am, I treat... I don't know. I like to say I'm a good boyfriend, but, some people could say no. My longest relationship before I got married was, it was 8 months straight. So, not even a year. And now I'm been living with, my wife now for 6. Been together in a couple days. It'll be our 7-year date-iversary, as we call it. So that's sweet. But it's 420 or 520, not 420. 520. And but if we're going back to my ex, I take things at face value, and I like to think I'm a good boyfriend, but if I'm giving you my all and giving you the benefit of the doubt all the time, and nothing I do is enough, then there's nothing I can do. And it took me a long time, I mean a very long time, to actually learn to stick up for myself. And that was, I think, the big learning lesson of that. And I don't know, I used to resent her for that, putting me through what she did, but then that was until I took accountability and I said, well, I let it happen. I let it happen to myself for far too long. That is 5:30, guys. Over to the 5:30 gang. And once I learned to take accountability for everything that happened in my life, that was the game changer. The book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink was a fantastic read. I unfortunately didn't get to read that book until after my mom passed away, and for the longest time I would hold on to that and just say, I'd beat myself up because there was things that I would do in my life and achieve that she essentially wouldn't physically be here for. And there was a period of a massive growth period after she left and went to the other side, where I learned accountability. What is that, 540? I don't know, we're going to call it 540. Yes, because the last was 5:30, gang. So 5:40. 10 away from halfway there. And I don't know, it was through that growth period that I realized that she is still here. Ultimately, that was one of the things that was interesting to come to grips with, is that we don't really actually lose anyone. They're still there. We can call them to us at any point in the grand tapestry of it all. And I don't know, I'm just in a really healthy state of mind. I think there was a time frame a couple of years ago where I definitely would have just opened up a bottle and tried to find happiness at the bottom of it. But on today's date, 5:50, but today, just to do it for myself, to do it for everyone, and to show you all anything's possible. I'm gonna do lunges, 1,000 lunges, and we are at 553 of 1,000, so we're over halfway. So we've been doing it for 1 hour and 4 minutes. I think I miscounted. Yeah, that was 5. Whatever. This is, hold on, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back, and this is 156. This is 156. I know that for a fact. 157, because I counted to 153 and I just forgot to change what my fingers were doing. 58, 159, and 160. So I am doing this barefoot. I don't know if I've showed you that at all. 160 or 560. This is 560. Hell yeah, guys. 561. I'll do better at counting. It's kind of getting frustrating. 562. Oh, but the calluses are starting to form on my toes. The only other person that I know of that does this very regularly on any capacity for social media is David Goggins. He's the one who does he's like 2.5 miles of this, which is nowhere near what, I'm not doing anywhere near that amount. I'm only going for 1,000 each leg, And even then, people are going to tell me I'm crazy. And whereas I respect David Goggins a lot, but whereas he does things that suck on purpose. I mean, don't get me wrong, those just kind of suck. That is 570. He does it and he's just like fueled by hatred of who he used to be. I, on the other hand, am just fueled in knowing I can do it. Taking a base to balanced approach. And it's self-love. Like if I fail at hitting a goal that I think I should have hit, I don't curse myself out and tell myself that I'm weak or anything like that. I just, self-love is one of the biggest breakthroughs that I've ever had. People think that if you do stuff like this, you have to really enjoy pain. Pain to me feels great. So maybe I just immediately confirmed that physical pain is something that drives me forward. I love the feeling I get after a long, hard day's work. Boom, that is 580. 580, we got 20 more till we're at 600. And we're killing it. We're killing it together. And we're preaching a message right now of self-love. Self-love, learning how to love thyself, and really, motivating yourself in a positive way to just make your goal, make your dream happen. This is a goal that I came up with, what did I say that was? Two weeks ago almost, week and a half ago. This is my 4th time doing it. In my mental, when I idealize a situation, I never thought that I would have been able to do 1,000 lunges in just 4 brief periods. And not just 1,000 total, I'm talking 1,000 per leg. Boom, 590. And we're just, I don't even know what to say right now. It's just one of those things that I'm happy. And I'm blowing myself away by how I'm adapting. And even now, how I look better than I did when I was in my early 30s. I swear to God. Cutting alcohol down to the weekends and getting enough sleep, working out, eating right. I have practically de-aged myself. I mean, don't get me wrong, that hasn't grown my hairline back at all or anything. I do know that it does look kind of bad. That's okay. Looking into how to better that. It's either that or shave it all off, honestly. Boom, is that 590 or is that 600? I'm gonna say 590 because I lost count. But I will now place a landmark and say we are 10 away from 600. Well, technically 8 now. But yeah, I was just thinking to a conversation I had with Rose just the other day about how Jude Law had a hairline similar to me, and that the lady still found him attractive. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, it's not that people don't think I'm attractive. It's that I necessarily don't like how it looks, especially when I'm sweating. When I'm sweaty, it looks terrible. I can hide it fairly well. I can hide it when it's normal. But with this, boom, that's 600 lunges down, guys. You're the best. I'm the best. We're the best. It is now time for our water break. Two sips of water. And on to 700. On to the journey to 700. We are almost at where I was 4 days ago. And then from there, it's only 300 more until I have accomplished my goal. And you know, it's just incredible what you can achieve when you set your mind to it. I think the big thing that changed my life, when my oldest brother, who was the best man at my wedding, he mentioned this in his best man speech, which he roasted me, by the way, which is awesome. Thank you. It was great. He mentioned that joining the Air National Guard was probably the second best decision I ever made in my life, which is true. It had a massive impact in teaching me. Boom, we're at 6'10", guys. 6'10", congrats to you and to me. Just that it really changed me in the fact that I could finally see how mentally tough I was. And honestly, what I can attribute that to is working over the phone customer service, because I realized I don't care about getting yelled at. It doesn't matter to me. Getting yelled at, it does not have an effect. All you have to do is zone out while people are like just shouting at you, just waiting for your turn, and then going about your day, and giving the correct reply. And even though I am soft-spoken, I really did thrive in that scenario. Here we are, 5:20. Next target, 5:30. I think that's a good way to keep myself on track, is to say next target is. So here we go, developing on the fly. Here we go, lunging it out. Going through basic training was a lot more simple than I thought it would be. A lot less, I don't know. I literally thought it would be really hard. Of course, Hollywood gives us a depiction of what we think Hollywood is going to be like, or what basic training is going to be like. And it's not that way at all. And then, I don't know. I just felt like, and people had to remind me, because I would say repeatedly, this is something that everyone can do. And people would tell me, no, not everyone can do this. You did something that is hard. That's 5:30, next target 5:40. And I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just built different as I sit here on my way. I said 5:40 at 6:40. Amazing that I'm that way. So next target is 6:40. We've done 6:30. Halfway to 6:40. You see how I can now validate the story about how I said that I could have done 800 lunges last time and totally forgotten where I was. We're almost to 6:40, guys. We're at 6:39. This is 6:40, with next target being 6:50. I don't know. I'm trying to recount this, and when I was younger, I'm flashing back to when I would create my own workouts, and I would do like 150 jumping lunges, or not jumping lunges, single leg, that's 5, so that's 45, 645, and I would do like 150 single leg hops. I would just create these really weird, uncanny workouts, because I didn't want to go to the gym, and I didn't want to have to pay to work out. I enjoyed working out alone and having a target. 650, next target, 660. And, I think that might have been the basis of it, is that I was working over the phone customer service, which sucked. And then I was going home and working out for an hour and a half, 2 hours before going to hang out with friends and get drunk. And I don't know, like, it just made it so that when I went to basic, like, I had already been there before, but when I went to basic, I had stopped working out for like 2 years. So it was bad. I was out of shape when I went. And I was with a bunch of battlefield airmen in my flight. Battlefield airmen are the basically special forces for Air Force. I won't tell you what all their acronyms are, but you can definitely look it up on your own. That is 660. Next target, 670. And they were like really fit guys. So they call it MTI tools when you get in trouble and they make you like do push-ups and flutter kicks and all that stuff. They only ever made us do it one time because I was with a bunch of high school wrestlers, people that were fresh out of high school that were on the wrestling team, that were track stars. There was one guy on my team. I basically likened him to Goku because this guy was like an ultra marathon runner. He would love to run 100 miles in a 24-hour period, and I'm just like, that's crazy, number one. I say that as I do 1,000 lunges. Well, on my way. But he, gosh, was awesome. 660, next target, 670. Unless I just said that, I don't know. Maybe I am the enemy. I don't even know what that means. That's funny. I don't even know what that means. 670 is our next target, though. And we have already done 3 lunges, so 7 left. And then we're there. But yeah. So when we got in trouble, they made them write essays. The freaking Air Force basic training, they made them write essays on what it meant to be a good wingman. It was friggin' hilarious. I was able to drop my 1.5 mile run down to just 11 minutes, just over 11 minutes. And I don't know, it was a good time for me. Boom. That is 670. Next target is 680. And again, just this long-winded explanation of why I am the way I am and why I think I'm mentally tough has gone on long enough, because that was a core element of my growth. And then after I grew, I was able to finally stand up for myself, tell that ex off, and I moved on. And I attracted crazy people. I had this thing, I don't know if it's just because I'm level-headed or because the hot to crazy ratio actually does exist, or hot to crazy matrix, as I think it is called. But you all know what I'm talking about. But I literally, hold on, this is 670. Next target is 680. Wait a minute, that's 680. Next target, 690. I don't know anymore. I am the enemy. Okay, now it's 670. Next target is 680. I'm going through my mind, and I have to go by that rule. So if I have redone the same thing like 30 times, that would be freaking hilarious if I've done the same set 3 times. And it's 5, by the way. And we are headed towards 680. And I have to keep it in mind because I'm motor mouthing over here and just like struggling in quicksand. Have you ever struggled in quicksand? I surely haven't, but I've struggled with my mind. That is 680. Next target, 690. But growth is all about accountability, and you have to start asking yourself again, what can I learn from this situation not why did this situation happen to me. And I still have to check myself on that, because it brings me to my next point. I say it all the time, but we are all just humans having a human experience. We are all simply humans having a human experience. And that is essentially why I have been able to forgive my ex for all the transgressions that happened and accepted my part in allowing them to happen. Boom, that is 690. Next target, 700. And that is ultimately why I let that kid live. I saved his life twice, by the way, because not only did I take the gun from him, but I could have shot him if I wanted to, and I'd have been that vindictive. Human life is the most important thing to me. It is the most sacred thing that we all have. And I was not going to take his, because he seemed young. And I didn't know what led him to do what he did, but I am not an executioner. I am not judge, jury, executioner. Sure, we have free will, but I did not have it in me to do that thing. And then when he sure did get linked to multiple other carjackings in the area and assault with a deadly weapon and all of those things, and they tried to get me to take him to trial, that is 700. I declined. I let him plead guilty as a juvenile and let him try to get rehabbed. All right, that is our water break. We are at 700. We only have 300 more to go, which means, guys, that we only have 2 sets of 150. So we're gonna make the best of it, and we are gonna slay, because I've already done this. I've already done this amount before, and I'm gonna do it again. We are at 1 hour, 23 minutes, and we are killing it. In time, we are killing it, and we are gonna make it. I know we're gonna make it, because I feel like I could go forever. I am sweaty. I've been going for a while. I have calluses forming on my toes because I'm doing this on carpet and on wood. And yeah, I just don't care. I'm pushing through it. I'm really enjoying myself, and I would, shameless plug here on our way to 710, I would really appreciate if you're enjoying this content to like and subscribe. Every little bit helps. We got a lot more content coming for you. That is 710. Next target, 720. Next target is 720. But yes, we are all humans having a human experience. I didn't know what led him to the path that he was on, and I ultimately didn't think that putting a 17-year-old behind bars for 130 years was the right solution in that case. I think the ASA assigned to the case actually gave me a personal call the next day and said that I saved his life in more ways than one, and that if I ever needed anything, I could call her anytime, day and night. I lost the number. Go figure. I'm sure I could find it again, but I don't know if I'll even need it. I've thought about trying to reconnect and just see how he's doing. Guys, this is 720. Next target is 730. And part of me also doesn't want to. And that is an internal conflict that I will eventually have to work my way through. But I still have other traumas that I'm trying to deal with. I do suffer from some form of PTSD, and that is because I work 3 blocks away from where the incident happened. And I do have to travel into the office every single workday. I've tried to get remote opportunities, doesn't work. So long story short, on the official career front, I am officially looking. And on the emotional side, I've avoided going to therapy because, number one, meditation helps. Guys, that is 7:30. We are on our way to 7:40. And I know any therapist is going to tell me, well, you're going to have to leave. You know, number one, if you want to cut down that stress on that trauma and that PTSD, get out of the area. No duh, that's what I'm doing. Beyond that, anytime I have anything that triggers a panic attack, I've learned to just breathe, ground myself to my physical surroundings, and tell myself it's okay. So that is what I have done, among other things. I try not to let it ruin my day, but there are just some days you can't fix. Some days that it's just too much happening, and maybe you do need to have a beer to take the edge off, or something else to relax. Again, it's all about self-love. And you know, as they say, healing doesn't have... Boom, that is 7:40. Next target, 7:50. And healing doesn't have a timeline, just like our personal journeys don't have a timeline. You might be a 40-year-old guy who is, you know, struggling, doing IT or something, and you're addicted to YouTube like most of us are, and you see some real-life streamer who's like 18 who brags about, you know, spending $100,000 on Christmas or whatever. And he brags about his monetary status, and he just has no respect for anyone, and it makes you feel like you failed at life. And I need you to know that you have not failed at life. His journey is different than yours, and I am sure that you are respected by at least one person in your life, which that kid is not. Those famous little douches. 7:50, next target, 7:60. Yeah, that's right, I call them little douches. They're self-entitled, and they are what they are. They know it, I know it. But everyone around them, they have to pay to be there. No one wants to be around them. No one really likes them, except for their money and their status. I think every single rich person has to wonder that, actually. Are the people that I'm friends with, are they actually my friends because they like me, or are they my friends because I'm loaded? And that is something that I hope I never have to ask. I want to live a modest life. I really am not a money flaunter. I might have alluded to being well off and building myself a solid foundation. But that is, gosh, 7:60, next target, 7:70. That is just something that I've worked on, and no one will know what I've done or what I have. I want people to know that I essentially want to ensure that the people who like me are the people who like me for me, which I have a very large friend group, and I am not worried about that at all because my personality is one that attracts people. It feels like my pineal gland is literally pulsing in my head right now, which is crazy. It just feels like my third eye is like just pulsing like a heartbeat. It's pretty cool. I've never had this happen to me. And we are almost at 780, guys. This is 779. This is 780. Bam. And we're 20 left. 20 left to 800. Holy crap, guys. We are officially almost at 800. Officially almost at 800. I can't believe it. But I need to get back on track. And just know that you are not a failure. And it is never too late to change anything about your life that you don't like. The only time it is when you're dead. That is the only time. If you have a friend that had passed away that you couldn't make amends with, maybe try to make amends with their family. if they have a family. You know, I don't know. That is just something that you're going to have to figure out, right? That is 790. We are 10 away from 800. 10 away from 800. Guys, this is incredible. I have never felt this way before. I don't think in my life. This is gonna sound probably cringe, but in working out, this is, and vlogging as well, this is probably the most fulfilled I've been doing anything workout related. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. That's 5. That is 5. I'm switching here, hands real quick. So that's 796, 797, 798, 799, and here we go, guys. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? 800. Good job, guys. You're awesome. I'm awesome, as I say every time. We got 200 left, guys. 200 left. Not bad. Here's our well-earned 2 sips of water. As we go from 800 and target 900. Here, I'm going to switch back over to my right hand. I really did enjoy that. Switching hands for the first time since before 100. So next target is 810. Our next target is 810. And it just feels really good to me to be able to have the ability to record this content, to bring you this message. Self-improvement, not going too hard, self-love, doing everything, you know, out of love and understanding that you might not be perfect, you have not messed up in life, that it's never too late until you're dead, which could happen at any moment, which is also scary. So it's no better time than now, right? Absolutely no better time than now to figure out what you want, to figure out how to get back to being you. Boom, that is 810. Next target is 820. That's 812. 813. 814. My mind is kind of going a little blank here as I'm just basking in the moment, right? Basking in the moment. 815. That's another thing. Right now is all that really matters. Everything that's gone on in your past, it doesn't matter right now. It's not you. Every single moment is a moment to reinvent yourself, to become the person you want to be. And what you have to do is acknowledge what you've done, acknowledge your own part in what has happened to your life. Maybe you've had a fall from grace, a magnificent decline. You have to take ownership of that. This is going to be 820, guys. Boom, 820. And we are on to 830. We are on the path to 830. But yeah, it all goes back to accountability. It all goes back to self-love. It all goes back to balance, right? Right now is all that matters. Absolutely all that matters is right this moment. What has come before does not matter. What you want to do in the future does not matter, because there is, as Morpheus says in The Matrix, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. Many times, I'll take this video for instance. I just thought of doing it yesterday. I had a goal a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that, of doing 1,000 lunges, thinking it was out of the question, but building up this random time in 2015 up to a mythical proportion, and within 1 week of actually doing it, guys, this is 830, next target 840, 840, 840 is next target, 840. And within the couple weeks of actually doing it, I have already blown that out of the water because I wanted to do it, and I'm just taking a based approach. There was a second attempt. Okay, so yes, this is my 4th attempt doing it. Technically, it's my 5th because the second time I tried, I did 20 lunges in and I pulled a glute. Okay. I thought I would have to take a break and not be able to do it for a number of weeks. It actually healed in a number of days. It just took stretching and just relaxing. So just stretching and being light with it to allow it to heal. I'm glad I repeated 840 because I was wondering, is it 830 or is it 840? Here we go. Bam, that is 840. Guys, 850, 850, 850 is the next one. Let's keep going. And so walking the path, knowing the path. Yes, you might know the end point. You might want to get to the end point, but really the journey is the greatest thing. The single greatest part of life is the current moment. Because you have free will. You can either choose love or you can choose fear. You can choose hatred. You can choose to waste your time. You can choose love and doing what is right for you, what is right for those around you. And the funny thing is oftentimes the best I've ever felt is when I'm helping someone else. That's why I talk about the carjacking incident so much. I don't talk about it because I feel like I'm a badass who disarmed a kid. I talk about it because I had a very seasoned assistant state's attorney tell me to my face over the phone, and this is 850. Next target is 860, 860, 860. I had an ASA tell me over the phone that I saved this kid's life not once, but twice. Do you have any idea what that means to me? As a spiritual person who has no affiliation with any religion, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. It's a very loaded topic depending on your religion and how deeply you are into it. But halfway to 860, halfway to 860. And it's just one of those things, guys. Like, I'm laughing with joy here just because of what I was able to do and how most people who claim that they know what life is about and they want to sell you whatever, they wouldn't have been able to do what I did. That's 860. Next target is 870. 870. 870 is the next target, guys. And I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude that I was able to experience that. And since that happened, tons of doors have opened for me. I mean, on a spiritual level. I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't talk about that because of what I was able to do physically in that moment. I talk about it because I want to be an example. I want people to understand that we really are just humans that are all constantly in various states of improvement. We ebb, we flow. Our emotions are a wave. We're riding that fucking wave. Right? We are riding that wave. And just try to stay on your board. Boom, that's 870. Next target, 880. 880 is the next target. And it's like I'm gaining power as I'm closing in on this 1,000 level, this 1,000 mark. It's pretty great, actually. I'm amazed myself, and I'm over here talking about this, and I'm just like invigorated. I feel so invigorated by everything that I'm doing right now. And that is how I know that I'm on the right path, right? Invigoration. I hold my hand up like that to trigger, hey, 5 halfway through. 880 is next target. See, I remembered this time, team. 880. So we are almost there to 900. We are 22 reps away right now from 900. Then we only have 100 left. And then what am I going to do? I guess I better try to wrap this thought up. That is 880. Next target is 890. 20 reps away, guys. 20 reps away. But some people think of me as a good example. And that's great. I did say I want to talk about this to be an example. I don't want to be like worshipped or have any amount of crazy recognition or have any cult followers or anything like that. Just understand kindness, love for yourself, love for your surroundings, love for the planet, right? We can only spread this message and validate this message by being examples. We're gonna have the Alchemist is a channel that I love following, love listening to. She uses the term the powers that were, because they're losing their power on those that are awakening. And that's only going to lead to a snowball effect. Their time is up. 890, guys, 890. Next target is 900. And so we can only validate our claims by being examples. And the reason that is that the powers that were, no matter what institution it is, science, religion, any form of control out there, is going to try and just call you crazy until you prove them right, or until you prove yourself right and prove them wrong. It's the exact same way when you tell your friends or your family you want to make a crazy change and they say you're never going to do it. You're never going to be able to do it. I know you and you're never going to be able to do it. It's freaking crazy to me. And that is where we're at and why people do that. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me. And that is something that is commonplace. We're all rooted in negativity, and we are trying to go beyond that. Let's fix that. Okay, guys, 900. That is 900. We are at 900. We are 100 reps away from our goal. That earns us 2 big old swigs. Two big old... I started talking before I was even all the way down. 2 big old swigs. We're going to switch back over to my left hand here for control. We have 99 left, guys. We have gone on a journey together. And I've covered a lot of things. And all I can really hope is that in these ramblings, if you've made it this far, number 1, thank you. Number 2, there are more fitness. I guess I could do a fitness vlog a week. A long fitness vlog. I kind of consider this like a long form David Goggins video, except it's talking about spiritual concepts and things like self-love. Now there is also tough love. Don't get me wrong, I love David Goggins. I just think he's a little intense for me. I don't like to be motivated by negativity such as hatred or proving people wrong. Just self-validation. And it's more so not I'm right and you're wrong. 910, guys, that is 910. We only have, 90 left. Next target is 920. And just living your truth. Living your truth. Here I am again laughing. The endorphins are seriously flowing. This is probably top 5 happiest moments I've been. I could just giggle like a little kid right now. But there are more videos coming, more various pieces of content. This is very unique to me, and that this is the first fitness vlog I've ever done. And I was wondering honestly how good it would turn out. I think the beginning was rough. I only hope that the audio is actually being captured, which I think it is fairly well. We'll find out after. Yeah, that's it. We'll find out after the fact. Boom, that is 920. Next target is 930. And I've thought about, like, there are multiple daily pieces of content that I thought about doing, but I also think that quality over quantity is one of those things to think of. And one of the series that I was thinking of, again, when I did my channel rebrand and refocus back in middle of 2023, boom, that's halfway through. Next target is 930, 930. So we're at like 825 or 925, 927. So When I made that change, I said I was done doing video game content because everyone else does video game content, but I think doing what I do with my daily videos with Spiritual Gamer is pretty unique and a good little twist. Boom, that is 930. Next target is 940, 940. And we are so close to being able to feed Oliver, to being able to feed Ollie Cat his little snacky poo before. And it is currently, wow, it is 3:08 p.m. So, really? How is this only saying I've been doing it for an hour and 45 minutes? I don't know. Maybe it was only 45 minutes when I looked before. Oh yeah, it was the whole 3:30 at 3:30 thing. Whatever. Whatever. We are almost to 940. And the video game content is pretty unique, I think. But there is another daily, just mindless grab that ultimately I think I'm going to go against. That's 940. Next target is 950, 950, halfway to the 100, halfway to this round of 100. And it was a Rocket League series that just is recording every single replay I did, which is probably 1,000 or so. But as I'm thinking about it now, that is just like no commentary, straight upload stuff that is easily ignored unless you just want something in the background. Bells and whistles, ADHD friendly content. That could be something. There's something there. Sounds like something I would have done back in the day. You know, I've been doing YouTube for 10 years. Yeah, just about 10 years this September. Never really gained any traction with any of the ideas. Boom, that is 950. Next target is 960, 960, 40 away. And, you know, I never gained any traction, and that's on me because I didn't want to put much effort into my videos. The editing portion always took too long, and then, you know, I still have that problem today, this day and age, with the editing. But there's a big movement now where people like authentic YouTubers, and content like this IRL stuff. This is what is really getting me going, getting me revved up. And I also really like, did you like that voice crack? I also really enjoy the Spiritual Gamer stuff because it's unique. And I think that is something that needs to be done more and that I need to focus on is the uniqueness of the content. Boom, guys, that is 960. Our next target is 970. We will be 30 away at that point. 40 more left. All right. We're in the home stretch. And it's at this point that I realized I could do a lot more. I feel like I could do a whole lot more than 1,000 per leg. If you're counting each leg 1, 2, that would be 2,000 lunges. That would be 2,000 lunges. And I think that's pretty crazy. But again, I don't know like how long this is. Is this a mile that I've gone back and forth? It's really difficult to know for a fact, to be fair. Here we go. This is 970. Bam, 970. Next target is 980. We are currently at 30 away, but at our next target, we will be 20 away. And doing this is just amazing. There's not a single part of my body that is not dripping with sweat right now. It's disgusting, and feeding Oliver is priority number one, but rest assured, a shower comes next, comes after that. Another thing that I found really amazing, this is a super random thought that just entered my head, is that I got a pull-up bar for Christmas, a doorway pull-up bar. You can't see it because the doorway is closed. And I tried to do pull-ups. I was not expecting much, but I was very surprised that I was able to do 5 palm out pull-ups right out of the gate. And this is 980, guys, 980. Next target is 990, and we are 20 away. 20 away from our goal, guys. And so doing the palm out is harder than palm facing you, but when you do the palm facing, what you're really targeting is your biceps really well. It really does get your biceps. So I was doing those reverse pull-ups yesterday. I guess you call them chin-ups. I don't know what the difference is, but well, I know what the difference is. I just don't know if that's the official difference, is what I meant to say. But when I did those, I was stopping myself at 6, but when I went all out, I did 8, and that was like my 3rd set in. So, you know, pretty impressed by that. I was thinking maybe after this today doing some more, but honestly, as I think about it, I have 2 more episodes. That is 990. We are in the final 10, guys. Final 10. Let's go. And I really have a couple more episodes of Spiritual Gamer to record and video editing to do. It's light editing, of course, because my style is, you know, more open, more organic, just motor mouth talk throughout the whole thing, talk about concepts, talk about whatever comes to mind. And yeah, I really want to, while I have time, I really want to dedicate that, because I won't have time tomorrow. Tomorrow is now going to be the day to do that. And while I have a 4-day weekend, it's just one of those things that, you know, I want to get done while I'm motivated, because I'm really motivated right now. And that's something that I haven't been in a while. I had to force myself to do that. This is the final, as we're on our last rep to 1,000, guys. And heck, this is the final. Boom, we're done. We did 1,000 lunges each leg. Holy crap, guys, we did it. We did the thing. We did the dang on thing. And what do you know? I talked throughout the whole thing. So we are gonna do primal squat. Oh, we are gonna primal squat it out. Ooh, my foot wants to have a little bit of a fit. It wants to cramp. But either way, the last thought that I had, crap, what was it? Crap. Okay, I finally remember. It was that motivation does not create action. Action creates motivation. So whatever it is that you want to do, or that you think you want to do, the best thing to do is to carve out some time in your free time to do that thing and see if you feel alive, see if you're interested in it, because we have a negative connotation to the word work because we think of it as our day job. That has to change. You have to create that separation in your mind. That work can actually be very, very fulfilling. You just have to do the right kind of work. So that is what I will leave you all with today. From the bottom of my heart, if you've watched this whole thing, I love you. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe, share, whatever you feel like doing. I appreciate everything. And just keep on keeping on. My name is Ken, aka The Phoenix. And with action, you will create motivation, and strong mind equals strong body, all that jazz. You can do whatever you put your mind to. We just proved it here today. And hey, I'll see you next time.